Welcome back to our constitution. We are in the second part of the lesson. In the second part, we will learn silent features of our constitution. That means important features of our constitution. Totally, there are 13 features have been given in your textbook. Let me explain one by one. First one is written and lengthy constitution. Here, we have to prove the point how Indian constitution is a written and lengthy constitution. Our constitution is in written form. So, we can read and we can make understand each and every articles of the constitution. All the powers and functions of the legislature, executive and judiciary have been mentioned in the written form. Along with that, fundamental rights, duties and directive principle of state policies also mentioned in the written form. So Indian constitution is a written constitution. Now let us see why it is a lengthy constitution. Original Indian constitution consisted only 22 chapters, 8 schedules with 395 articles. But later on, through some amendments, Parliament members have been added new articles to our constitution and it became a lengthy constitution. At present, Indian constitution consists 25 chapters, 12 schedules with 465 articles and many sub-articles. So, Indian constitution also one of the lengthy constitution in the world. Second feature is partially flexible and partially rigid constitution. Our constitution has combined feature. Let us check first why it is flexible constitution. Constitution can be amended easily, but what is amendment? Making changes in the previous article and adding those new articles to the constitution is called constitutional amendment. Simple majority is enough to amend the constitution. Simple majority means support of more than 50% of members in a house for a bill. So it is flexible. Now let us check why it is rigid. As you know that simple majority is enough to amend the constitution, but to add those new articles to constitution, it requires some special procedures. After presenting a bill in any one house, if they get majority, then bill goes to another house. Again they have to prove majority in that second house. If they get majority in second house, then bill goes to president. President may approve, otherwise he can reject the bill. Otherwise, one more option is there. He may resend the bill to same house for recorrection. So it will take long time. So it's a long procedure. That's why our constitution is neither too rigid nor too flexible. Third feature of our constitution is parliamentary form of government. Our constitution has provided us a parliamentary form of government. In parliamentary form of government, sovereign power goes to union legislature or parliament, not to state legislature. Executive should be responsible to the legislature at the central and state levels. Executive consists group of ministers, they are major part of the government. Legislature consists other members of the parliament. If executive lose support of legislature, including prime minister, whole government should resign before completion of their term. So, always executive should be responsible to the legislature. Fourth feature is republican system. Indian constitution has declared India is a republic. Election is the main theme of republican system. Including president of the nation, other all members are elected by people through an election. So it says that people are sovereign power in a republican country. Fifth feature is federal system. Our constitution provided us a federal form of government. According to federal system, there are two governments. One is at the top, central government, and another one is state government in every states. So powers are shared between central and state. Central government can make laws on centralist subject. Totally there are 100 centralist subject. At the same time, state governments can make laws on statist subject. Totally there are 61 statist subject. One more is there called concurrent list subject. Both central and state governments are having equal power on concurrent list subject. Totally there are 52 concurrent list subjects. If is there any dispute between central and state government, by the time Supreme Court can interfere and it can solve the disputes between central and state government. Next feature is fundamental rights. What is fundamental rights? The rights that the constitution has given to the people are called fundamental rights. So these are basic rights. Totally there are 6 fundamental rights in our constitution. All the fundamental rights are mentioned in the third part of our constitution. Article number 12 to 36 speaks about fundamental rights. No new laws of central or state government or other any organization can occupy our rights. If they avoid or if they failure to protect our rights, people may appeal to the High Court or Supreme Court and we can get back our rights. Next feature is fundamental duties. How we enjoy our rights in the country. Repeatedly we have some duties towards nation are called fundamental duties. At present there are 11 fundamental duties in our constitution, but before it was 10. In the year of 2002, through 86th amendment, 11th fundamental duties have been added to our constitution. According to 11th fundamental duty, parents should provide compulsory education to their children aged between 6 to 14 years. Avoiding fundamental duties an offense or it is a punishable process. Next one is directive principle of state policies. These are not compulsory rules like fundamental rights and fundamental duties. These are just a guidance to the central and state governments. Its aim is to establish social and economic equality in the society and welfare of the state. Indian Constituent Assembly members borrowed these principles from Irish Constitution and added to our Constitution. At present, these principles are mentioned in the 4th part of our Constitution. But government cannot be questioned by a court of justice if it does not implemented them, because these are not compulsory rules. That is why government can follow or it can reject those principles. But when government frames new laws, it should pay attention to these principles because these are moral principles. Next feature is independent and centralized judiciary system. Our constitution has provided maximum power to judicial system, so it can give bold judgment to protect rights of people. No legislature or executive can interfere regarding to the judicial matter of the nation. That means no government, including first citizen of the nation, president also, nobody can question judgment of courts. Supreme Court is head of the judicial system. Under Supreme Court, other courts will work and Supreme Court can question other lower courts. So our judicial system has independent and centralized feature. Next feature is single citizenship. Our constitution has provided single citizenship to the people, that is national citizenship. If you get dual citizenship like USA, people will give first preference to their state. Another side they will neglect nation. So to curb narrow-minded provincialism and to promote nationalism, constitution has provided single citizenship to the citizen. So every citizen have same rights without any discrimination. Legislature or parliament has special power to frame rules in this matter. Next feature is adult franchise. According to constitution, after completion of 18 years of age, citizen can exercise their voting right. So it says that people are supreme power in the democratic system. Next one is bicameral legislature. The central legislature is called parliament. Parliament consists of two houses, upper house and lower house. Rajya Sabha is called upper house and Lok Sabha is called lower house. So this type of system is called bicameral legislature. Now we are in the 13th and last feature of our constitution, party system. As you know that political parties are pillars of a democracy and there is a multi-party system in India unlike USA. USA has dual party system. That means only two political parties are there in USA, but we have more than two. This type of system is called multi-party system. According to latest publication from Election Commission of India, totally there are 2,598 political parties are in India, including 8 national parties. In the general election, the party gets majority number of seats will become ruling party and rest of the parties will become opposite parties. So this is party system in India. In this part we learned totally 13 different features of our constitution, and in next coming part we can study about fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy. Thank you.